Well, joining us now on day 58 of this war is former Trump campaign foreign policy advisor and Newsmax foreign policy analyst, Walid Phares. Good to see you, Walid. Thanks so much for coming on. So,
Sure.
to get us up to speed on what happened, and we covered this here on National Report, President Biden, his press conference announcing $800 million in new military aid to Ukraine. And he was also asked how long could the United States continue to provide this type of assistance. And that is the question I would have for you, because right now, President Zelensky of Ukraine says Ukraine needs $7 billion a month in economic support. Your thoughts on this spending amount and how long it would last?
Well, all depends on where the Russians want to stop. And from indications we're seeing right now on the ground, it's really what they call the Greater Donetsk and the Greater Luhansk, meaning they want to carve up a piece of eastern Ukraine and then decide what they're going to do with it. And really the focal point is Mariupol, because Mariupol, as we see on the map, connects the east with the south. So that's a lot of operations that the Russians intend on doing. And therefore, the U.S., NATO are supplying and supporting the government. But everything has a limitation. So now the question is, what would the Ukrainians do with that support? Will they do on counterattack? Will they sit down and negotiate with the Russians? It's to be seen.
Right. And we're at, rather, the United States is at $3.4 billion since the war began, since February 24th, I believe it was. But many are wondering how much can this administration spend going forward. But I will move topics to this. There are now concerns that China, watching what's happening, unfolding, as you were talking about there, just a piece of Ukraine, there are concerns that China now could move in and take Taiwan, something that has been talked about or speculated about. But do you see that offensive happening anytime soon? Why or why not? And what would be the role America is playing, or rather this administration possibly?
You know, China is not shy about it. They have said that Taiwan is part of China. So eventually, on the long run, there will be an attempt by China to reunite between brackets with Taiwan, but they know that the Western reaction will be big, and they know it's very difficult. It's an island. What is of concern now is that China is going beyond Taiwan, deep into the Pacific, and they have signed a strategic agreement with the Solomon Islands, which is actually a state member of the United Nations, and that would project their power so close to Australia, to New Zealand. And we don't know if there are other players in the Pacific, other small islands or small nations who have already been in touch with China. So it's not just Taiwan, it's what's behind Taiwan all the way to the center of the Pacific. That opens a very different theater for the West.
All right, we'll continue to follow that. Walid Phares joining us live. Walid, good to talk to you. We appreciate your expert analysis. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you.